Hi, I'm Eve Pearl. Welcome to How To Beauty Tutorials. Today I've got lovely Grayson, who is going to be modeling for us for a gothic look. With the popularity of Twilight, True Blood, vampire movies, the gothic look has taken a whole new turn. We're going to take that gothic look and actually turn it into our red carpet version. Let's see how it looks. I hope you like it. Begin by using a little bit of priming moisturizer with astaxanthin. I like to take a little bit and put it all over her face. And as I'm putting this on Grayson's face, I'm realizing that, okay, she's got a lovely coloring, nice and healthy, nothing at all like a gothic-y or vampire-y. Clearly there's healthy blood running through her veins. So we're going to take that out. That's part of what we have to do. Take out the life and put in kind of a little bit looking like she hasn't had any sun for a long time. Her regular coloring would be the light foundation, but because we want to make her look a little bit more sallow and not as healthy, we're going to use the fair. I'm going to begin by doing her eyes. Taking the brush with the Eve Pearl side, I'm going to use the lightest color, and then the other side of the brush I'm going to use side 2, and that'll be for the forehead. So here we go. Close. Actually, I want to see what's going to happen if I do the whole thing with a little bit of the light. What's going to happen if you use a color that's way too light, it might get a weird chalky tone, and you're going to see what happens. So it's a good idea to sort of start out and see what happens. When the foundation is done, I want to make sure I powder to set. This is the Light HD Dual Powder. I'm going to use the lighter color, and I'm going to take a little bit of the loose setting powder. I'm going to take a bit of this and put it into the lightest color here, and put that over her entire lid, and a bit on and over the eyebrows. This is going to help set the foundation. It'll make it act as a foundation, as an eye primer, and it'll ensure the makeup stays on. We begin by using the Black Pearl liquid liner. So you want to create a line, and actually for the goth look, for those of you that can't make a thin line, it's perfect. It's ideal for you. You can make it as mushy as you want. So you want to get it close to the lash line and take it all the way out, and then you want to open your eye to see how far you've gone out, and you want to make sure you get into the inner corners of the eye as well. So the way you do that is you look like this way right now towards where my hand is. Yep, right down here. And I'm going to do a little bit right here. And with your eyes open is a good way, looking straight ahead into the mirror to see how far out you want to take it and how you want it to look. So I'm going to give her sort of a gorgeous, dramatic, gothy look. We're going to make Diva our primary eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take brush number 106. This is the crease brush. I'm going to take it into the black color right here and into the blue. Close. Usually I would use a liner brush, but because I want this to be a little thicker, I'm just going to go right into the colors. So this is the Diva eyeshadow palette. I'm going into the black and the blue. And I'm going to create little shadows and take this up and out. So you slowly want to take it up and out. And every once in a while you want to open your eye to see how far it's going and how dramatic it's looking. So you see how slightly we're going to take it up. So great. I like the way it's going. Close. So now I'm going to create a little bit of the classic ultimate eyeshadow style. So close your eye. I'm going to go back into the black and the blue, and I'm just going to give her a little bit of a crease, and I'm keeping it kind of harsh. And then I'm going to take this outside point up a little bit. I'm going to stay with the one palette, and this is our mixer blender brush. I'm going to go into the warm tones here and do a little bit of that right over and over the dark, kind of over the whole thing here. And don't be afraid for this to take a little bit of that and just also go into the front. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the violet, number 1 color, and I'm going to do that here and also in here. We're creating the areas where usually we try to cover up. So for those of you that have dark under eye circles, for this look, it's perfect. I want to add a touch of the greens, because remember, we're taking this to the red carpet because we want her to look vampire-y, yet always gorgeous. If you're going to a great party and that's the style, you want to make sure you're the best looking vampire there is. Great, and you see I'm taking the darker colors all the way towards the nose and the hollow, and then I'm pulling this all the way out. And now I'm going to have you open your eyes, and it's time now for the eyelashes. Now there's many varieties of eyelashes. You can go with a natural style. You can go with a 105, which is natural. You can go with a 106, which is a little bit more strong. It becomes a little bit more theatrically. The 107 also is a natural tone. And of course, there's the 108 that gives you these beautiful, long, high lashes. We're going to be using the 106. No need even to go anywhere else. When you know it's the right one, you stop right there. So you want to measure to make sure it's the right length. So you want to measure the whole length of the eye from front to the ends. So open again. You know what? I'm not even going to cut them. They're perfect. I'm going to leave them as is. You take your eyelash and you take your eyelash glue. When using black eyelash glue or any eyelash glue, you want to get a little bit to come up on the nozzle. And for this particular case, when the glue is still wet, it's going to be gray, and when it dries, it's going to dry matte black. I like to leave this kind of out for a bit, and while this is kind of getting dry so that I don't have to hold a lash on the eye, I'm going to put a tiny bit of it right on the edge of the lash. You take your tweezer, hold the tweezer on the inside part of the lash, and then with your fingers for the other ones. If you're doing it on yourself, it's ideal to take 2 tweezers and hold them one in one and go like this towards your eye. It'll be easier to get into those little areas, and you're not going to have to try to figure out how to put your finger in there. Take your lash and you want to position it. First placement is right in the center, and then you can put either side, the one closer to the nose and then the one closer to the outside edge. So as soon as you have placement, you want to open your eye, because sometimes you might have extra glue and you might end up gluing your eyes shut. If that should happen, do not panic, just pull it apart. It's not the end of the world. So as soon as you have placement, you actually want to try to flip the lash so it kind of goes in the upward position. So open your eye. Great. So that when you're going to open it, you want to make sure that it's as close to the lash line, but on the skin, as possible. And sometimes they're a little challenging because some of them, the thicker the lashes, sometimes they're harder. So make sure you hold it down on the outside edge and on the inside edge, because those are the 2 likely places they're going to pop out. While the lashes are drying, this is a good time to do the eyebrows. Usually I would use the Au Naturel for her eyebrows because that would be her natural coloring. But you know what? We're going a little crazy here anyway, so I'm going to use a little bit from the same palette. I'm going to use the dark, the black, which actually has a little bit of a shimmer. But I don't care. I want everything to be a touch more dramatic. So I'm going to continue just taking the dark color here, and I'm going on the arch of her brow, and I'm actually just staying above her brow. I'm staying above her brow. I'm going to just take it out and just exaggerate it a little bit. And if you want to do a touch more dramatic, make a little point right here and then take it out. And to really make it shine, grab some water and put a tiny drop of water in the side. And if you make that, turn that black wet, now you really have like a black liquid liner almost, with a little glitter, actually with a little shimmer. Okay, and then don't forget to fill in the inside part of the brows. And later we can come back and make sure we finish everything off when all the foundation is done. Usually this part I clean up underneath, although really if you're doing this look it doesn't matter, but I'll clean up underneath anyway because I can't help myself. So we're going to clean up, and now we're going to create everything else. I'm going to take that lighter color. Again, we're using the Fair foundation. I'm going to take the side 1 and the side 2. I'm going to see what happens if I just use the side 1 for a bit. I'm going to take the lightest color, and first I'm going to put down here, and I'll work the way up to see if it's going to get chalky or not. All right, I'm basically spreading it sporadically, and I'm going to take the damp sponge and I'm just going to blend everything down. Because you want to see skin. I'm not trying to cover up her face. I still want her face to look flawless, and I want to see her skin. So I'm going to put more water to shear out the sponge. I think that's going to look nice. And I'm going to do a combination and a little bit of the side B, the side 2 on the nose, and a little bit on the forehead, so it's not going to be overly light by the forehead. So this is actually the side 2 on the forehead and the side 2 by the nose. And I'm just gently going in towards the hairline, because you want to make sure you don't have a weird ring around the hair. So now I'm going in and I'm using more of the side 2 for the warmer areas, for the areas that I feel like, okay, I don't want it to get too chalky. So it's going to be the forehead, it's going to be a little bit of the chin, a little bit of the nose, and I'll even put a little bit here by her cheek areas because I don't want it to get chalky. I want it still to look pretty. And if anything looks a little bit too pasty for you, take some water and apply water to the sponge, and that's going to help shear it, shear it out a bit. When you're blending in the face, you want to make sure to pay attention to the ears. If your ears have a warm, healthy glow or color, just make sure you go over your ears, and we're going to do the neck as well because you can't just have a face that's light and the rest of your body will still look warm. So just kind of gently go a little bit over that. And even though you want to have the darkness under the eyes, you still want to smooth out your foundation. Now we're going to powder everything to set. And we're going to take some of the loose setting powder and we're going to put it into our side 1 of the HD Dual Press powder on both sides here. And I'm going to take a larger powder puff, take some more of the loose powder, and powder everything to set. I'm going to use the darker side, the side 2, for her forehead. And this is still keeping her, basically natural, but naturally pale. With a black kohl pencil, and what does that mean? That means you want the pencil to be nice and soft. You don't want it to be too hard. We want to make sure that we're going to line around the eye. And you could just gently pull the eye down and just do a little bit of lining. And you can make this as thick or as thin as you want the liner to be. I would suggest starting out thinner, and then you can always, exaggerate as you go along. I'm going to go back to the little crease brush, and I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to take a little bit of the black and the blue again, and I'm actually going to take this down now. So just dragging it down, a little black, a little blue. So we're doing a little bit more of a smoky under eye, and you can also extend it out on the outsides here. During this time, you can also now go back, take your Black Pro liner, and make sure you have all the corners done. So close your eye one more time. I'm going to make sure that I have that there's black going everywhere. You can attach the lashes if you like with a mascara and mascara wand, then just kind of get the 2 sets together. Because you want to make sure that you get some mascara on the bottom lashes, so we're going to get a little mascara on the bottom lashes. This is the 106 definer brush. I'm going to go into the warmer tone color, the number 3 color, and I'm going to take this down with a little bit of the warmer tone so that it sort of makes that dark not so harsh. I don't like having hard edges, so we'll just soften that bottom edge of that. And also this will help. This is a good time to go back now and do the eyebrows to make sure the eyebrows are sharp enough. And I like having them really sharp, so I'm going to put a tiny bit more water right in here. I'm going to go into my spoolie, grab some of the dark, and I want to make sure that I really extend her brow. At this point, I'm going to make a nice point, and I'm going to pull this out. For Grayson, ordinarily her blush would be the light blush trio, because that's what would make her look healthy. I might put a touch of it, but then I realized, oh, you know what? I don't want her to look overly healthy, just a touch of it. I want her to have that healthy little bit of the cheeks, so you put this on only on the apple. So smile for a sec. So do that on the apple area. So there's a little bit of that coming out. But then I'm going to actually take the dark. This is a dark blush trio, because you see the odd colors. I'm going to take a little bit of it, only with the tip of the fan brush, just straight down. And then I'm going to go aiming it down from like the ear area, aiming it in a downward angle to give her a little bit of the hollowedness. And you can also take a little bit only of the dark if you like to go on to do a little bit more a drastic hollow. When it comes time for the lips, usually you can either go with the red, in this case Hollywood Affair, or you've got the Vampire Kiss. So what do you think, red or Vampire Kiss? What are you in the mood for?
I think we should go with the Vampire.
I agree with you, Vampire Kiss it is. I'm going to go to our Pro palette and grab a little bit of the Vampire Kiss. You have several options when doing a color that's more rich and deep so that you don't make a mistake. You can either first draw the line around the lip and then fill in. Once you make the circle around the lips, you could kind of fill in a little bit, and then we take our Vampire Kiss and basically apply that over the entire lip. As we apply this over the entire lip, you want to create a beautiful shape. I love having a vampire type of a gothic look with beautiful, rich lips. The best way to do that, after you put a color in, you can go back over it with your pencil. So you want to make sure you create like really full lips. The way you do a full lip is you make it thicker down below, and also on top you can create these beautiful slight points if you want. It's the only time that I say, okay, if you're going to do points, make a point. Once you created the shape of the lip, a great little trick to make sure that everything stands out is you're going to go back to your concealer brush and take the lighter colors and go on the outside edges and basically do this on both sides. If you put a little bit of the highlight on both sides, take your sponge. After you go around the lips with the foundation to make sure everything is solid, take your pressed powder and go over that and set the pressed powder so that the lipstick won't bleed. Yeah. It's always a good idea to take a little bit of the powder and just powder around the lips to make sure that the lipstick doesn't bleed. And of course, no beautiful red lips are complete without a little red gloss to top it. And this is red. So even though we did the vampire kiss on the bottom, we're still going to top it with a tiny bit of the red. And while I was there, I noticed that she has a beautiful natural beauty mark. If you wouldn't, you could still draw one, but I'm going to go right here and just bring out that beautiful birthmark. Take your black pencil and do a little flip. And basically, our gorgeous gothic look is almost complete. I'm going to finish up her decolletage to make sure her face and her body match. I'll show you what it looks like. You want to make sure you finish the look by making the whole decolletage area as light as you've made the face. So I put a little foundation, I blended it in, and then you want to make sure you powder everything to set. So powder, 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 powder. I hope you enjoy our beauty style standards with our new gothic look, with our inspiration with Twilight and True Blood. Thank you for watching How To Beauty Tutorials with Eve Pearl. Watch for our videos on AOL, on evepearl.com, and on YouTube. Thank you so much.